Left of the box. Wages have not been keeping up with how much work is going through, with how much productivity has increased, with the cost of living. I saw a video of Mehdi Hassan and Owen Jones, and they were talking about inflation and things of that sort. Unemployment rate is low, inflation is low, wages are up, so why are everyone complaining, blah, blah, blah. And you see, there's just a perspective that somebody who lives with poverty can see that a lot of other people don't necessarily know. And inflation doesn't take into account all the expenses people have. And there's something in inflation that's never accounted for, but is huge. And that is people now being forced to pay for things that were previously free. A very simple examples that I have in my life, and these are tiny, but when you start adding them up over all the different things, again, it adds up to a lot of money every given month that now you have to pay for things that used to be free. So when I have a laundry card that I can go and I recharge and I can do my laundry that way. Now all of a sudden, every time I put more money onto my laundry card, it charges me 25 cents. There's no reason for it. The equipment didn't change. The procedure didn't change. The machine isn't having to put more work into it. But now suddenly it's a 25 cents every time I put money on my card. I have to pay to put money on my card. Again, 25 cents isn't that much, but when you start talking across the board on things, it can add up. And if you're a large family and you have to do multiple loads of laundry, every week, it can start adding up if you can't afford to put like $100 on any given go onto that little laundry card. Another example I've seen is I would visit a friend at their apartment building and they had a dirt pit for their visitor parking. I call it a dirt pit. It was an unpaved part of the parking lot, which was for their visitor parking. And it was free until one day there was a notice that you had to download an app and pay for visitor parking that way. So that's another way. Parking in my building used to be free, but now if you move into these buildings, you have to pay for parking. Luckily, I'm grandfathered in, so I don't have to worry about that because I can't afford it. So there's all these things that are constantly being thrown at people that are adding on to the inflation that isn't included in those inflation numbers because they are things that now suddenly we have to pay for, even though they are things we had already been receiving for free. And other minor examples of that is just access to ad-free stuff or things on Twitter. So before you could DM anyone on Twitter, but now you have to be a premium paid member in order to be able to DM people and things of that sort. So again, things that used to be free are no longer free. And for some online programs, StreamYards or Adobe and all that sort of stuff, you're renting the programs now. You don't get to keep them. Same with Microsoft Office. So before you could just buy the package and you have it. But now it's constantly every year you're having to pay more and more and more. And so things, again, that used to be free are no longer free. And we are constantly being pinched and squeezed all the time for that. But a lot of people say, well, inflation isn't that bad. But actually, yeah, it is that bad. It's a lot worse than what they seem to think it is.